So let's look at part 3. Now we've got the person that we're actually interested in editing. We've got their details when we did emp update. We printed the details into the form, into the form that was on emp update response. And what comes next is to actually take those changes, put them back into an SQL update statement, send that off to the database, so the database table is updated. And that's what happens in this third file here, emp update response 2. So we've got the form, somebody types in a number like 220, something like that. This is the middle page where we pull up the data into a form, it's then edited, and in many ways that was the most complicated part of this row. And then we basically update the information into the table using that third page, emp update 2.php. So what does this look like then? Well, this is a bit more traditional in a way. We've done this already. We're just going to get some values and then print them into an SQL statement and then send it off to the database. So starting from the top, here's our connection string, and remember you have to change those values depending upon your local setup. Include database.php. We have to pull the values from the form, so we need a whole bunch of post statements that look like that. And of course, some of those are going to be changed, some of them may not be changed, but it doesn't matter, each one will have a value inside. We then create our SQL. Now the SQL statement here is an update, and it's printed here in this style. And here I'm using that notation where I'm creating a string with double quotes on the outside, and I'm just using variable expansion inside the double quotes. So you can see everywhere where there's a dollar sign inside, the value will actually be printed into that space. And note how I'm using double quotes on the outside. Some of those fields have to have single quotes. So you can see that ename is a string, so it has to have single quotes around it. Job is a string, has to have single quotes around it, etc. all the way along. If it's just a number like Sal, I can just write it into the string. So Sal equals $Sal, something like that. And then we just send it off to the database. And so all the changed values, whatever the changed values are, they'll be sent off, and then that row will actually be updated. And if you look at the third line of the SQL statement here, this is quite important bit where we go where emp number equals. So what it's going to do is it's going to update one of the pre-existing employees depending upon their emp number. And that's that update statement just there like that. And of course, once that's done, really all we need to do is just send a message to the user saying it's been updated, just like that. And so that's it. We've basically done retrieve, delete, create, and update, just like that.